get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat, I
looking
don't
at
know,
the
my rap, my
youngest
blood
and
boils
fastest
over like,
rising star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less if you like me or not. I'm here for success, and there's no one more successful than Grayson Waller.
Yeah! Let me talk to you. War game.
Salute everyone. Welcome to the Heal the Ring podcast. I am your host, BS Force Jedi Kev. I have in with me this evening is Jay. Salute, Jay.
Salute to you, Kevin. Salute to everybody listening and watching at home. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's see. First of all, how was your day first? Before we get going, let's get with the pleasantries and all that good stuff.
It's been all right. I mean, I slept through most of the day because last night I had a blast at NXT. But hey, it was pretty good.
Awesome. I'm ready to review some NXT. We got a couple less than a week, a little bit over a week before we get to Vengeance Day. We all know Royal Rumble's coming up for the WWE this Saturday. Wow, time is flying by. The Rumble's here, it's WrestleMania season, but let's get to this NXT setting up for possibly Vengeance. But you could say NXT last night was ladies' night. What a phenomenal job showcasing the women.
Oh yeah, a lot of ladies. It was definitely a ladies' night. I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. A lot of people I realized didn't like the ladies being on the card as much as the males. But hey, that's that. I mean, I've heard a couple people, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? This is a good night for the ladies. It showcases them, and that's what it is.
Wow, I'm surprised that because, of course, with all the news and controversy beforehand was Monday Night Raw 30. We had a blast. We did the watch along here, and everybody enjoyed it. We had a good time. And then not for two particular twins. The Bella twins complaint Monday that Raw did not feature women. They everybody's losing their gazoos because of the steel cage match was shortened between Bayley and Becky Lynch. One thing I gotta say with that, did you guys? I know we were doing the watch along, Jay, and I know when we said the first hour was commercial free by the WWE was giving us that first hour. Of course, wonderful segments with the trial with Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. And when they were finished with it after the tag team match was over, I remember mentioning I said, they don't have enough time for the steel cage match, and it doesn't look good with commercials. Remember? Did you recall when I said that?
Yes, you did.
And I didn't know that they were going to cut the match there, but I said, man, that doesn't look good. When the steel cage should have went right after, and I know you couldn't because you're jumping all over the place, but I like the fact that they did that no disqualification, that no contest where they just threw it out, where Becky Lynch got assaulted by all members of the Damage Control, because you don't want to half-ass it. If they would have done a half-ass sloppy steel cage match, then you have the critics complaining, oh, that was a terrible steel cage with the women and this and blah, 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 blah. You can never please the masses. There's always a criteria complaint. Oh, the women deserve better. Stop with that. Women deserve better because they have headline WrestleMania. They have closed WrestleMania. They had main event Monday Night Raw for so long. Not so long ago, like I think 2 weeks ago or for a couple of weeks in a row, the ladies were the closing main event of Monday Night Raw. The WWE, that's nonsense. The way they say that they don't treat their women well, and for the clout chasing Bella Twins, because that's what it is. I'm sorry, they're clout chasing. When I think of 30 years of Monday Night Raw, when I go back, I don't, it doesn't etch anything the Bellas did. Because you know what? What the Bellas did, I saw in Trish and Lita in bra and panty matches. If I wanted to see boobs, I would have. You know what? And I hate to sound sexist or male chauvinistic, but let's be honest with you. When I think of a woman transcending Raw, who should have gotten a lot of recognition, a trailblazer is China, Joni Lawrence. She's the one. She's the trailblazer. She's the big woman that came in there, and she shows you. You know what? She not the Bella Twins. When I think about Monday Night Raw, Jay, I just had a vent on that.
I know. I was listening, but yeah, I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said there. I mean, and they're complaining about how they didn't show the women's revolution, like the woman. Why the women's revolution? It didn't just happen on Raw. There was other. It happened all over, all brands. I mean, come on, be for real though. Trish, Beth, China, all of them from back in the day when I wasn't watching. They started everything. They started. So if anybody should be complaining, it should be them, not Bella Twins. Come on, be for real.
And they
You can go
refused
on.
to come. They
Yeah,
were too busy. They were offered to come to the show. They didn't like the script. They didn't like what they had for them. Listen, this is a 30-year anniversary show. Not everybody had enough time to be showcased or shown. Listen, Yokozuna wasn't on. Yokozuna, when I think of Monday Night Raw, now I'm going back to from day one when they first came on the air. Yokozuna was a big part. Of course, you had Undertaker, Doink the Clown. You have so many personas and wrestlers that were on that first show. And not everyone was showcased. That's okay. We understand that it's a limited time. Then I hear a Wrestling Inc. complaint that that's lazy booking with the poker game. What do you expect them to do? You're complaining that Becky Lynch and Bailey's match got cut short. Imagine if you brought all these legends into the ring, I wanted like to see them live to stroll down the aisle. You can't. There wasn't enough time. If you would have done that, then you're complaining. I can imagine the lynch mob they would have had if they would have brought these guys. Of course, people would have loved to see them walk out to their music, their theme songs, and give them that nostalgia. But they did the poker. They did the segment. I'm okay with it, Jay. You know what? That's fine. I don't get what was the big uproar. People complain just to complain.
yeah, and I agree with you. I'm totally fine with the poker game. I've been fine with every time they do a poker game or a legend shows up, they don't go to the ring. It's not a big of a deal. I get it. You want to hear the music. I get it. You want to feel like you were when you were a kid. But it's not always that way. It's whatever the way it ends up is the way it is, and you have to deal with it. You don't have to complain because if you complain, they're not going to do it again. They're not going to show up. They're not going to showcase the legends. They're just going to give you another Monday Night Raw and call it Monday Night Raw 35 or 40. Come on, be for real.
I know. And then they complain, oh, we have enough. We had enough of DX. DX was, listen, if it wasn't for the Degeneration X back in that time to go up against the NWO, the WWE might have not been in existence. Or wrestling itself, it would have been a joke. So they had a big part. Oh, they just celebrated them. What the hell you want? Stop complaining. Enjoy it. Because guess what? I guarantee you, and I don't want to make a light of it, but if they put to any, like right now, Scott Hall has passed away. We can never have, Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, back. Let's celebrate that tonight. As we record this in about a couple hours, we're gonna have Mark Briscoe taking on Jay Lethal, honoring his brother. Now everybody come out, and now they're defending poor Jay. Jay, because of the things we could capture culture, he beat it. But meanwhile, what he was alive, nobody wanted to touch him. He was radioactive. Nobody wanted to sign him. Now, fortunately, he passed. Now, all the homage. You know what? Honor the folks that are alive in the moment right now, because when they're not here, they won't be able to hear it or see it. You might, and it just gets me, Jay, with the hypocrisy in the moment. Stop it, because stop the complaining. It's wrestling, wrestling. That's it. Enjoy the performance.
Yeah, I mean, soon enough, all these legends that you see on TV, when they do come on, they're not going to be here, and then we're going to be looking at whoever is here now as legends. We're gonna be looking at them as legends. So be kind, take in what you have, watch it, enjoy it, because it's not gonna last as long as you think it is, because we don't know how long. People could die the next day. They can end up in a car crash like Jay Briscoe. They can have a heart attack or a seizure. They could just have something and it goes wrong and they don't make it out alive. So, enjoy what you have for right now. That's it. Don't complain. Don't put on no, oh, they didn't show the evolution. Oh, too much DX. No, stop complaining about it. It's what you get, and you don't get upset. That's how the world works.
Yeah, it's like it's okay if you know what? It's okay if you didn't like it. It's nothing I'm not saying everyone has to be kumbaya and say, "Oh, it was phenomenal." I don't expect everybody to like it, but the constant bickering, complaining about the most petty, not little nonchalant stuff, it's gotta stop. Just enjoy wrestling. Enjoy wrestling. Wrestling, that's it. It's fun. Wrestling is real and the people are fake. That's plain and simple. You know, as we as we move on here, let's get to NXT. I just wanted to vent on that with the Raw, with the 30 and in the cloud chasing Bella twins. And one last thing I'm going to say before we get into that, Brie Bella. Maybe you should talk about where your current money's coming from your husband's contract, where he's at that company, and it's not to throw shade about it. They 9:30 slot, 9:30 slot. Yes, you could check it out tonight. Go and turn in at 9:30, folks. The ladies will be on that, and that's it, and that's for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Brie Bella doesn't complain. Why? Because there's a paycheck coming in from in there. So I just enough said with that. So let's get right into the NXT. Get right to it. And of course, what I loved it tonight in a word in Spanish, we say "pa que mame." WWE gave them something to suck on because it was showcased last all the women about like I think it was about 22 different ladies were showcased tonight on NXT, and personally I enjoyed all of it. It was all a phenomenal program. Me, I again, I always say no one has more talent than the WWE when it comes to the women and the way they perform. We started off with a Indi Hartwell versus Tiffany Stratton match. This was a little bit of a feud that was carried over from last week. They got into it backstage with the gesture room stuff. Indi Hartwell, Tiffany Stratton. What was your thoughts on this match?
Now, at the beginning, I wasn't too sure about it because Tiffany Stratton was kind of like, ooh, like scared, and then she actually fought back, and then the outcome came out. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was my first ever time seeing Tiffany Stratton in the ring wrestling. Because in the past when she was in the ring before she got injured, I wasn't going to NXT. So this was a phenomenal way to start off my time watching Tiffany Stratton, and I like to see more. Maybe a women's championship match. Maybe she could be the next women's champion, like you said in the past. I would love to see that happen. That'd be pretty cool. And the finish of the match was pretty cool. I liked it.
Absolutely, I love the fact when they try something a little bit different. You have Vic Joseph and Booker T on the opposite side of the ring by the entrance where they welcome the crowd to NXT that night. I love the fact when Indi Hartwell came out, she got in the mic and interrupted, grabbed Vic Joseph's mic. She made it clear her way to the ring. Promises to beat up Tiffany Stratton. I like the fact that these ladies had that program. And of course, we get Trish Stratton with an awesome climbing up the rope from just kept going to levels and did a beautiful moonsault for the victory for the pin on it. But let me ask you this: we all know the star is really bright when it comes to Tiffany Stratton. Phenomenal in ring. She's gotten better. Although you can still see she's still dealing with the surgery. You see the bandages a little bit unsure. She did a moonsault and felt a little bit. She just missed it by not much, but good recovery on her. All in all, she gets the victory. We know what's her upside. Well, I'm gonna ask you this, Jay. What would you like Indi Hartwell to do here? Because it felt like Indi Hartwell is one of those wrestlers that she's been on NXT for for a few years now. She made the cuts last year when they did a couple of cuts when they got rid of Persia and when first Just the Luminous first got released. She was part of the middle of a storyline and she survived. She kept staying there, but she's a crowd favorite. She's like, I call her the people's champion. No disrespect to Dwayne the Donk Johnson, but she's a woman of the people because she's out there taking pictures autographs, saying hello. The crowd loves her. What's next for Indi Hartwell?
Maybe a Royal Rumble entry. Maybe we could see her Saturday at the Royal Rumble, make her main roster debut, and possibly go to the Final Four. I would like to see, Indi Hartwell be in the Final Four in the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't think she's gonna win it because it's not that time yet. But I would like to see her make her main roster debut at the Royal Rumble.
We all would like to see that, especially that we have Dexter Lumis in the main roster right now. Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, they're all together. They're part of the Indiject that were together before, and they have history. Personally, for Indi Hartwell, I would like her to go up to the main roster. She also has a look. She's tall. She's what a WWE performer has. She has an it factor. Now, how far could it be that it factor up in the main roster? It's up to Indi Hartwell, and up to her how she's going to get the main roster crowd over, how she's going to get herself over in a gimmick. It's up to her. But I think it's time for her to get that opportunity, that tap on the shoulder to please. Now it's time for you to come to the main roster, and I hope so, because I will be rooting for her. I will be sad because we will not see her Tuesday nights, but she's been there too long already. I would like to see you now go and become a star for Indi Hartwell. And of course, Tiffany Stratton is ahead of herself. We all know, me personally, I think she's the one that takes the title off of Roxanne Perez. Not anytime soon though, but in a couple with time building or learn time brooking or whatever you want to call it, I think it's going to be Tiffany, the NXT Women's Champion eventually. But for now, she keeps stock up for Tiffany Stratton. She has a look that fits mostly what the stereotypical WWE champion they like, the beauty, the bronze, the beauty, and the in-ring ability. She's also buff. She puts work on her body. She's really cut and well proportioned, muscular for a women's champion. That's an obstacle. She looks like an obstacle if she were to get the women's title.
Yes, I would agree with you. And I really can't say much. I mean, I talked to a bunch of people. Evan, everybody there that I hang out with. I talked to them about Tiffany Stratton before Tiffany Stratton's return, before New Year's Eve. I said, "Hey guys, Evan, Kev keeps talking about Tiffany Stratton when she returns. She's going to be the women's champion. How is she in the ring?" And they said she's pretty good. And her lights out match with Wendy was excellent. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna check it out sooner or later. And last night, oh my god, that actually that surprised me. I was like, wow, she's actually a good competitor, especially coming off of an injury, a surgery. So it's hard to do that.
Yes, you got to check that Wendy Choo match with her, that bad lights out match. That was a hard hitting. That was a hardcore match. That was a really good hardcore match without calling it a hardcore match between them. I advise you to take a look at that. So we move on to the next segment here. We had the Thea Hail ceremony with Andre Chase. Now you saw Thea Hail come out, Andre Chase. I'm not me. I'm a real heckler when it comes to Andre Chase and Chase U. So I'm a heckler on it. So it had its place, believe it or not. As much as I heckled them, and I'm like, ugh, and I like to be that villain when it comes to Chase U and all that shenanigans. It served a purpose. It served a purpose for Thea, and I think Thea, she's another wrestler. Given her about another this time next year, she's going to be a real important player. I don't know if she'll still be in Chase U if she does her own thing or whatever the case is. I see that Thea Hail has potential to be pretty much where Roxanne Perez is. Not the women's champion, but in that contendership. Like, oh, she's actually gonna possibly have a chance to possibly carry that strap. And I think Thea Hail gets it. She gets it. She has the mannerisms, the energy first and foremost. And I like, believe it or not, I actually like her. I like to just be like I said, a heckler to Andre Chase. But we get an interruption from JD McDonough. Good job for JD McDonough coming back from his honeymoon. And of course, I noticed a shout out to our friend Brandy. JD was looking for her.
Yeah.
JD walked
He said
around to
something.
you guys and looked for her.
He he said something. He walked by and he's like, "Where is she?" And I was like, "She's not here." And then he was like, "Oh," and then walked away. It's
Oh,
unfortunate. He would have came.
we know. I noticed it from all the way where I'm at because
Yep.
we're on opposite sides on the floor.
Yep. I did get a video during commercial break, when they were fighting, and Andre Chase threw JD over towards me. I have that on video. I know Evan does too as well. But yeah, that was pretty cool. He came over and he said, "Hey, where is she?" And I was like, "She's not here this week." And he's like, "Oh," and then walked away. And I was like, "Dang." We texted her too, so.
Oh, that's good. We were thinking about Brandy and JD McDonough as well. And of course, it leads to a match. Of course, Andre Chase says he's always prepared for anything, and he had his wrestling gear underneath his cap and gown. And we get a match: JD McDonough versus Andre Chase. What was your thoughts on this match?
It was pretty cool. I liked it. It was a little bit hard hitting. It wasn't like as like hard hitting as my main roster matches, but it was definitely hard hitting enough to be an NXT match on Tuesday. I enjoyed it. I loved it, and the way this match ended, it wasn't confusing. It was more of like, I see what's gonna happen here. I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sometime soon. And you can say it if you want. It's,
Yeah, go for it. Finish it.
it was it. You know, Duke Hudson walking off on Chase University there. It was kind of like, ooh, something's gonna happen, because we saw this build up when Duke Hudson first came to Chase U. Andre Chase was looking at him weird, and then it just died off. And I was confused. I was like, where are they gonna continue the story, or is this just gonna be like what they do with Liv Morgan? How she was, being kind of like a psycho, and then she just out of nowhere dropped it, and then now it's back. And so is the way the one with the Liv going too. It's back too, so I can see where this is going. And next week too, they have something going on next week, so possibly next week or Vengeance Day.
All right. And I'm gonna throw out some notes that a couple parts of the match that I really enjoyed. Actually, I was very impressed a little here with Andre Chase. Again, I like to be a heckler. No, no, no. I like to heckle him, or in particular the Andre Chase, the University, and all that. Personally, I really like with the part when he hit the knee on JD McDonough, but McDonough countered with that headbutt, and then it turned into another count into the Canadian Destroyer. I said Andre Chase did the Canadian Destroyer because, not for nothing, Andre Chase. What this is why I heckle him. He is predictable with his wrestling moves. He'll do the Jake the Snake Robert punches, the short arm punches that he taps his shoulder. Then he does the rush and the leg sweep, and then he's gonna do his little stomp. Give me a C and H. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Change the menu. Do something different. So when he hit that Canadian Destroyer, I popped for Andre Chase. Believe it or not, hopefully Anonymous didn't record me popping there, but I'm gonna admit it.
I popped as well. As much as I kind of a little bit dislike Chase University against JD. JD's my guy. Me and Brandy like JD a lot. So having this match, I kind of was on JD's side. But when he hit that Canadian Destroyer, oh my God, I popped so hard. I think that was the loudest pop of the night that I did that night.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it was an impressive move. I've never seen it happen like that before. I was like, whoa, it just came out of nowhere. It was unexpected.
Yeah, especially from Andre Chase. He's tall, and to get that done, but it was good. It was good. It wasn't a perfect Canadian Destroyer, by the way. My angle, JD's head kind of looked a little, or neck kind of. I was like, oh, it was a little bit, but all in all, it was like still a wild factor because we didn't expect that move out of Andre Chase, and it came out of nowhere. Although JD McDonough picks up the victory on Andre Chase. Of course, there's a storyline within the storyline. Why did Duke Hudson bailed out and left? He just stormed out and just called Andre Chase to get confused, which he should be not have. The teachable moment here is you should always keep your eyes on your opponent, not the extracurricular around the ring, especially when you're in a match. So the teachable moment is Duke Hudson teaching Andre Chase here, it seemed, but we shall see where it transpires as we'll get back to them later on in the evening. We still haven't heard the last of Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. So we go to the next segment here. It's Ivy Niles with Tatum Paxley taking on Kiana James and Helen Finley. Now, Kiana James, slowly but surely, Do you buy her as a face here, or you think there's motives with
Yes,
that bar?
I buy here. I have maybe now that you brought up the bar. Okay, now this is where I think is gonna happen. She's gonna be all friendly. They're gonna do things that they need to do. They're gonna be they're gonna tag team, go into tag matches and stuff like that. And then at the end, this whole story is gonna lead up to Kiana James uh, backstabbing Fallon and Jensen and stuff like that. They're gonna do that, and she's gonna take the bar. That's where I think this
Okay.
is leading to.
You know what? This is a fascinating storyline, and with both of these ladies, or all four participants, because you also got the two gentlemen, Brooks and Jensen. Um, Here's the thing: it could go either way. Our very own Bobby in the front, he said, I think they're gonna be the new next women tag team champions, Fenley and James.
I
He's
definitely
been
could see that
he's
happening.
called it last week. He's been calling it when they teamed up. He already called it. We could see that possible. Could it be also Kiana James just wanted to take Jensen's virginity? You know, I mean,
It could be one of the two. Could be both.
every time he walks, every time he walks around and he goes gushes for Kiana James, the sound effects all over the arena goes boing, and the boners that he gets, so yeah.
Uh,
But he plays that good role there, the good role of and he's head over heels for Kiana James, and you see that they're planting different seeds. When Brooks and Jensen, they don't, of the purse when he was holding Kiana's purse, and then Jensen picked her, goes, "What you got here?" And she goes, "Stop it." There was a little bantering, fun bantering. Wasn't caught. I don't believe it was done on camera purposely, but they're teasing us as the audience. There might be some dissension in the tag team. Could it be? You could see it many ways. If the ladies don't work out, this is of course it was supposed to be meant for a one and done. So we have the match between Army Niles and Tatum Paxley. Pretty good match here before there. You saw the ladies though. I was more impressed because Tatum and Ivy been teaming up longer, but Kiana and Fallon had chemistry, and they looked at like the longer tag team than I Diamond Mine here.
oh yeah, definitely 100%. It looks just like that, and I really enjoyed this match from the start to the finish. It was enjoying. It was story. There was storytelling. There was a lot of like, should I do like they're teaming? They're not teaming. They're getting the rope thing. With they wanted to get underneath. They were tagged in, and like Fallon was trying to get under the rope to get into the ring, and then Kiana did it at the same time. So they were kind of confused. They did it multiple times. It was a good match. I liked it. And yeah, it definitely looked like Fallon and Kiana were a longer tag team than Ivy and Pax. 100%.
And of course, in the beginning of the match, the ladies, when Fallon or Paxton were tagging each other, they were tagging each other kind of. They were slapping each other at the beginning. Actually, it started off with Fallon tagging Kiana in the top of the head. A little bit of a disrespect kind of thing, but they all in all, they made it work. I know a lot of folks didn't like the fact that Niles and Ivy Niles and Paxley lost here, because they were disappointed of the last. They could call it a lack of respect or whatever the case is, but Ivy Niles hasn't really set herself apart as a person to get over. The crowd likes her, but she's too vanilla, too bland. She's too bland. There's nothing. I know she comes out with the chain. She does this. She'll do the dip in the corner and blue. There's nothing there with Ivy Niles to take you like, ooh, like let's in the beginning when she first came out, I was like, whoa, this is like a Beth Phoenix type. I got Beth Phoenix type of vibe. Like, ooh, like this is a badass. And then as time goes on, she kind of like, okay, Ivy, show me something, because she's another one that telegraphs her moves. Okay, she gets you in the corner. She's gonna do her little running kick. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
Pax has a lot of talent. Tatum Paxley grown from the breakout tournament that she wrestled earlier last year, or in the springtime last year, to now under Ivy Niles. She's grown leaps and bounds as a performer. Pax has really done some great stuff on the ring, on the mat there. I see her growth, but Ivy's like kind of stuck on neutral. Give me something different, Ivy.
Yeah, I don't really like Ivy at all. Even when I first saw her, I was like, I don't want to see this crap. It's not entertaining to me. But hey, if the crowd likes it, the crowd likes it. If the crowd doesn't like it, the crowd doesn't like it. It is what it is. Change your gimmick. Bring something
Yeah,
new. Bring something new.
you know what I wouldn't mind seeing her do, but I don't know if they'll allow her to. Let her do a spear. She's bulky. She's short, but she's strong as an ox. You know, she's strong. She's intimidating. Use your finisher into a freaking spear the crap out of these ladies, and man, that would be some freaking phenomenal move there. You know, because they will work. It will work. It will work if she, when she, even if she translates to wrestle a Last Legend, she could, that spear will work. Other than that, I was thinking about maybe a power bomb. You know, the power slam. I mean, like the British Bulldog used to do,
Hmm.
but she might not be able to get up a Lash Legend, a bigger woman, or if she has to wrestle Nikita Lyons, but a spear will. You know, you could hit a spear and boom. You know, because you could believe it from her because she's like a big pit bull, strong. You know, so she's well built. She's phenomenal. She's got the look and all, but not too tall in height. But she's gotta add. She's kind of bland with her wrestling moves. She's gotta add something, and she's like at the cusp of either going really great or she's gonna plateau in that. And she's in a dangerous territory, in my opinion, because I've been, you know, for the more time I've seen, I haven't seen any but Tatum Paxley. She's growing phenomenal. She's like, you could see her ascending with the wrestling skill. You know, and now she needs to cut more promos, and maybe Diamond Mining right for her because they really not well spoken promo wise. Remember, back then they had a manager about last year named Michael Bivens, who's now in AEW as Stokely Hathaway. He was there. He was the Diamond Mine mouthpiece. He went away in around mid March, early April. They haven't really. Roderick Strong was a little bit of the mouthpiece. You now see Julius, excuse me, talking more on the mic. Brutus is not there with the microphone skills. All of them are a little bit cringeworthy when it comes to microphone skill developing. They you see the rawness in Diamond Mine, but but they need a mouthpiece. And I'm hoping Tatum Paxley, because of course everyone knows outside of the NXT world, she's a fiance of Big Body Javi. Big Body Javi is learning how to cut promos and do good promo work. Could we see that in the future they might work together? You know, I've said me personally, Jay, I would say it seems like Shawn Michaels is taking Big Body Javi kind of under his wing. I see a lot of Shawn Michaels in Big Body Javi, believe it or not. Even from this introduction music, listen to the introduction music. It sounds like I think I'm hot. I think I'm cute. It has little T's in it. And I think if they have Tatum Paxley become the sensational Sherry type of role for gushing over Big Body Javi, they might got something cooking there. They might got something. They might got something because it's not working right now in Diamond Mine because I don't know what's because of the Ivy factor. Because to be honest with you, they should be the ones getting the tag team title opportunities. And later on tonight, after that match, Bricks gets so excited, you know, he had the guts to go and talk to Shawn Michaels and got a title match for the ladies at Vengeance. What's your thoughts on that?
I enjoyed when he said that. He was like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna be in a title match at Vengeance Day." I was like, I kind of a little pop. I was like, "Yes, finally, new contenders." We haven't seen Kiana James and Fallon Henley tag team. Well, we have that night, but we haven't seen beforehand. And so I would like to see what would they do at Vengeance Day. I think the storyline is going to that place where they win the tag titles, and it's kind of like a Cora Jade and Roxy kind of thing where Cora Jade, or AKA Kiana James, is going to turn on Fallon Henley, or Fallon Henley will turn on Kiana James, leading to an even bigger story, to a giant feud leading up to Stand and Deliver. So I can see that happening and having another tag team tournament for the tag team titles. I would love to see that kind of stuff. It's kind of fantasy booking there.
No, you hit it, boy. You are creative tonight. This, which you I can say you always bring your A game, but man, you're on your A+ game. That was
Oh
phenomenal
yeah.
because I could see that happening 60 to 75% accurate. Because we always got to leave that 25%. Nothing is 99% because when it comes to Shawn Michaels and WWE, we don't never know what the hell they're gonna do. So let's get 75 is like saying 95%, and I think I see that happening. I can see that happening again. Personally, absolutely there. I can see that. I can see that going forward because one thing I would love them to bring. Speaking of tag team tournaments, we also get with the men. We get the New Day. The New Day now becoming. A lot of people say that the New Day in NXT run are kind of heelish because they're making everyone else go through obstacles to go after their titles, and that's what heels do. But you know what? I don't see it that way. I'm saying, look, if you want to, I see Ric Flair's. If you want to beat the best, you got to be the best, and you got to knock away, take out your opponents, and come on, and then you're ready to fight the final boss. And come on and get it. That's the way I see it. Am I seeing something different, or you think the New Day are heelish?
No, I don't see any heel in the New Day at all. But one thing I want to say, why have Pretty Deadly go through all those obstacles and have that gauntlet match at New Year's Evil if you're just going to give him a title shot at Vengeance Day? I would have loved to see just Gallus versus the New Day, and then Gallus versus Pretty Deadly or Gallus versus whoever. But I see what they're going here. I wanted to see all the tag teams in a match. I wanted to see like every single tag team that they have in the back beat in this match and pretty much have like a tag team like battle royal kind of or a ladder match something to see who the better tag team is in this situation. But I like the Fatal 4-Way where they're going with this, and they pretty much, you have Dyad coming in and who else? Who else was there?
It started off. It started off in a backstage promo with our guys. Well, at least the heel of the ring, BX Force Jedi, my guys, Malik
Oh yeah.
and Inofe. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite. I met them in person. I had a good conversation. They're phenomenal. They're my favorite. They won me over. My favorite right now. The tag team. They are phenomenal guys. But also good performers. And I told them I said if you guys, I told them personally, you guys are going to take, and I said it here on the program, you guys are going to be the next NXT Tag Team Champions after the New Day relinquish. I could see yourselves and Odyssey Jones being the New Day. All three guys, one for all together. Although I haven't seen them, I don't want to get away from what I want to get to. I haven't seen them all together recently, but the point is, I saw them in New Day. I marked out. I was like, yeah, all right. What I told him is, I know he's gonna remember my words on New Year's. I said, yeah, there we go. So then I said to them. So then I saw them. I said, we want to be part of the match. We want to, He goes, I respect. I thought they were gonna do it next week. I was like a pre warm up, but then you got the dyads coming in, of course, and oh, we want to be part of this match. We were, back and forth. So they add a stipulation next week. They're going to have a triple threat. It's going to be Malik and Inofe taking on the Dianes. And then we added Duke Hudson adds himself with Andre Chase. That was surprising there, Jay. It's a triple threat, and they're going to make it for a fatal 4-way now in Vengeance Day. I thought it was going to be a TLC match, table, ladders, and chairs with a triple threat, but Fatal 4-Way, that's going to, I would love them to put a letters TLC anyway, because I would be like, wow, for these competitors, you put a ladder with Kofi Kingston, and oh my God, the possibilities of the hard-hitting Gallus boys with a table. Jay,
Oh yeah.
talk to me.
That would have been perfect. That would have been awesome. But I see here now they're having a tag team triple threat next week to have the number 4th spot in this Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match at Vengeance Day. The outcome of this match, I can see it go either way. I can see it be Dyad. I can see it be Malik and Inofe. I can also see it be Chase University. But my pick personally, I want to see Idris and Malik win the tag team triple threat, go on to Vengeance Day, and be in that Fatal 4-Way. I would have loved to see them, be there and possibly maybe win. I don't want to put it as like they're gonna win, because we never know how this is gonna work. We also have Gallus They're a heavy hitting team. We have Pretty Deadly. We know how Pretty Deadly have been in previous things like this in the Fatal 4-Way. We kind of saw it at Worlds Collide. But my question is this elimination match, or is this whoever first pins the team wins at Vengeance Day?
You know what? They weren't specific about that. They didn't weren't specific because we have seen that in NXT as well. It's usually I think they do that with Fatal 4-Way. But the Fatal 4-Way, I think they do that. We saw that with the women. When we had Toxic and Kayden Katana, they did the elimination when they had with Tatum Paxley and I forget the other last tag team that was there as well. The last females tag team. It was Fiorentina and Julissa before Julissa got hurt. It was elimination style match there, but I don't know. We'll still see the stipulation. I didn't really pay attention or hear it. Remember, we were in the crowd in the NXT arena, and it's so loud. When they do the cuts and the promos or the vignettes, people cheering and chanting that you don't really hear well what they're saying on the big Titantron or Jumbotron, whatever you want to call it, and the TV, and we couldn't hear it. So I don't know what the stipulation is there, but it'll be interesting to see. Of course, I'm hoping that it's Malik and Inofe personally to go to Charlotte, but but then when I saw the Diaz, I saw these idiots are gonna go because why not? How you're not going to have Simone Johnson, aka Ava Rain, not in the premium live event in Charlotte, and you want to draw, and of course you want to draw and sell tickets and draw that the Rock Store is gonna be here. I think that's why the Dyads are going to win. I hate to say that, Malik and Inofe, man. I'm cheering for you. I'm the biggest cheerleader there. I hope you guys go. I hope you really do. I want you guys to come out in Charlotte with the World Tag Team titles. But I think right now it's a marketing thing that I think the Dyads are gonna go. Just I hate to say that, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see next week. They have that tag team triple threat with Dyad, Malik, and Idris and Chase University. So yeah, I really want Malik and Inofe, but hey, if it comes to Dyad, I'm fine.
One thing we know, it ain't gonna be Duke.
Oh no, this is going through a storyline. This is doing a storyline. I'm telling you, they're in that tag team triple threat as placeholders. They're just there for a storyline of separated from this tag team match, this Fatal 4-Way at Vengeance Day. I can see them possibly having a match at Vengeance Day. I don't know. I think it's too late to have another match added to Vengeance Day. But they
No,
could
I don't
also,
think.
be in a random episode of NXT as well, leading to Stand and Deliver something.
I can see they adding more matches. I think there's gonna be more as we get along. I think there'll be like two more matches. I think so. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling they're gonna add couple more matches here. Before that, let's go with a little bit of a promo for a moment. There's two different promos. Let's through this one. It's not in the right order, but they're one behind the other. But I'm gonna go with the one that happened second. Was we go to the famous barbershop. The famous barbershop where the bald men get haircuts and the guys with the hair don't get cuts. And this one is Apollo Crew comes in. We're going to Carmelo's favorite barbershop, and walks in Trick and Mello. He's sitting there, and they go the back and forth banter, and they come up with a stipulation. They're gonna have a match. 2 out of 3 falls. Now, are you invested in these 2 out of 3 falls from Mello and Apollo Crew? Personally, I thought they had 1-1 each, and one more match would have been fine. That's your 2 out of 3. But if they're gonna give us 2 out of 3 at Vengeance, Apollo's got to bring his A game because Mello brings it all the time. And last time they fought, that was kind of a little bit boring because it wasn't because of Mello, it was because of Apollo. He's not to me. He's not an appealing or exciting wrestler for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 here. And I wasn't there. I had a bathroom break for the barber shop because I forgot that that we're gonna have that segment there. So I was like, I gotta use the bathroom. Too much water. But I came back when they said the 2 out of 3 falls for Vengeance Day, and I was like, ooh, okay. I'm right now I'm kind of in the middle. I'm 50-50 here. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. But I hope the outcome of this match will lead to a stand and deliver match for whoever in possibly that main event at Vengeance Day, the steel cage match between Bron Breakker and Grayson Waller for the NXT Championship. I hope they turn this into a number one contenders match. As a 2 out of 3 falls instead of just a normal 2 out of 3 falls, because I would like to see Carmelo Hayes win it and go on to stand and deliver and face for the NXT Championship. But we'll just wait and see. I don't know, but I'm 50-50 on it right now.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. I believe this is a number one contenders match. This year between Apollo and Carmelo Hayes, if whoever wins this 2 out of 3, I believe they have, and I know this is not UFC. Normally if they have a UFC type of thing, the UFC fighter calls out his next opponent. Usually they kind of call out the champion. Now you have stand and deliver in Los Angeles. That is a big event. Who would you want to have it? But your biggest NXT stars right now. It will be a Mello. It could be even like a Mello, Grayson Waller, Bron Breakker. Right now, those are your 3 heavy hitters. To be honest with you, in NXT right now, I know JD is a good one, is a dark horse, but he's still not over yet with the whole entire NXT universe. Like over, like, oh my God, he's unbelievable, either unbelievable heat or unbelievable pop. He's like a tweener. Sometimes he gets a lot of, depending the day, he'll get a big pop. Sometimes he'll just don't get nothing, or he'll get he gets mostly boos. He's not there yet.
Yeah, it's based off of his opponent, really
Right.
much. It's
Right.
if the people at the NXT universe don't like his opponent, they'll cheer for JD. But if it's like Andre Chase, they cheered for Andre Chase that night instead of JD.
Right.
And there's just one person in the crowd, which I always hear him every week that JD comes on. He always talks crap about JD, and JD always talks crap about him back. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. when I love it when the superstars interact back. That's the best thing to see. There is the superstars actually interacting with us. So yeah, but yeah, we also have Tyler Bate.
Indeed.
He's back.
Indeed. Tyler Bate is back in the fold, in the picture. Another one that you could actually expose and show. Although I'll save that in a second. I think Tyler Bates is going to be in that North American title program. I think that's where Tyler Bate is going to be. Yeah, I think he's going to be
like
running in
that.
that North American title. Me personally, I think. But then we have that. So we'll see the 2 out of 3 stipulation match here with Melo and Apollo Crews. Then we have the promo that was actually before it, but I wanted to get this one because it will lead into the next segment. Was we have Diamond Mine in the back, and they agreed to have a little bit of a wrestling warm up exhibition with the Drew Gulak and his Hank Walker, and got a little chippy there. Gulak wants to be this Mr. Know It All amateur wrestler guru, and he's becoming falling short, getting embarrassed, and he's starting to lose his temper. I like the gimmick there. It's like, I see a lot of people like that, and I come through them a lot in the work of life, and they actually act like that. So I kind of feeling Mr. Gulak. I seen it personally.
Yeah, especially if you watch the bump. The last time Drew was on the bump, oh my God, I was like, chill out. You're gonna get yourself hurt. It was funny, but he thinks he knows it all because he was on the main roster for a long time. He was in the cruiserweight division, and then he became pretty much a jobber at that point. After the cruiserweight division came down to NXT, he wasn't really as much shown on TV as much, and when he was, it was pretty much a squash match. But he thinks he knows it all. I think this whole thing was him losing his temper and pretty much not paying attention more on the match than he is on people who come on the outside. Charlie Dempsey came out, and Drew Gulak kind of got distracted there with
Well,
Charlie
I didn't.
Dempsey.
I didn't say thank you for letting us know that it led to a match in the ring. But cool, go ahead, go for it.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. I thought we were talking about the match. I was like, what?
No, it was a backstage promo that was
Oh,
going to
yeah, the
lead into a
backstage
match. But
promo.
take it away, partner. This is live and in living color.
Sorry, the match really wasn't as impressive as I thought it was gonna be with the Creed brothers, but hey, it is what it is, man.
It was. If the match was okay, it wasn't. I actually
Mm.
like the fact that we had some amateur wrestling. If you like amateur wrestling, Jay, you got it. You know, and of course I know there was a couple of people being sarcastic and funny. It was sarcastically funny with, oh, here's the armbar, an armbar submission, an armbar. It was funny,
I
but you
heard
had
people talking
yeah,
about Julius wearing underwear, and I was like, well, I mean, kind of looks like it.
yeah. My wife said the same thing. It's like, yeah, he's wearing his underwear, but all in all, and because someone please give Hank Walker wrestling attire. He's in his freaking. It looked like he just came out of the lumberjack cutting some trees
No,
and
he came in a Bass Pro Shop.
yeah, that too. You know, get him some wrestling boots. Everybody there had their nice wrestling gear, wrestling shoes. They had their singlets. Some of them were singlets. Julius in underwears. And this clown is in denim jeans. He's in Wranglers. He's in Wranglers, Caterpillar boots, and some type of Hobo Joe flannel shirt. Come on, man, get him a haircut too, man. Go see my guy Alex here on Chickasaw. It's not that far from the NXT Performance Center. Make sure you get your haircut. You look like a freaking like a whole hobo there from Mr. Hank Walker. But but all in all, it was a good amateur wrestling. Of course, you see the Creed brothers get the victory on the distraction from Charlie Dempsey. Of course, after that, it looks like it's going to be Gulak and Charlie Dempsey eventually down the line, maybe in Vengeance Day. Or maybe it'll probably be on a random Tuesday, but it's going to spill out Bad Blood, where it's going to be probably a no submission an old fashioned submission match between Charlie and Drew Gulak, or a gimmick match. We'll see how that transpires. But then we have a promo. Actually, Ivy now has come from the other side of the out of nowhere, and she comes in and they cut a promo. Of course, Julius saying that they're not the most easiest guys. They're rough. There could be a little bit of a testosterone and hard headed butt heads, and in this year comes out, but all three now. So Veer Mahan returns from mourning the death of his father. Our condolences to you, Veer Mahan. If you listen to the video, we know that that's not something easy, the death of a father or parent. But it's good that you're back at the saddle, back at work. Hope you took enough time to mourn, but it's good to see you there. All three. We got all three in this year, but there's only two Diamond Mine. They're gonna have a match next week. Now, let me ask you this, Jay. I think it's the return of Roderick Strong, baby.
Oh yeah, next week I think Jinder Mahal is gonna get involved. He's gonna get involved, and then out comes Roderick Strong to save the day, and the Creed brothers come on top in this match. I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So they pretty much what happens is in this year, Jinder Mahal challenges the Creed brothers to a match next week. In this year, Veer Mahan and Sangha versus the Creed brothers Julius and Brutus. But this match is going to be hard hitting. I'm waiting for it. Vengeance. I mean, not Vengeance Day. New Year's Evil kind of messed it up a little bit. Obviously, because of Veer Mahan, he went to go mourn his father, and condolences to them. But hey, it is what it is. I can't wait for this match. Another thing I want to point out: where's Pax? Isn't she supposed to be part of Diamond Mine?
Yes, but I don't think she interacts with Julius and Brutus
She
only when they're in the
every time in the
backstage.
backstage, and then when she came the last time they were out all together, they were all out, and Pax was there as well. That's I think this is leading to where Pax is. They're gonna keep losing matches. Pax and Ivy are gonna keep losing matches, and then Tatum's gonna go on her own. I think this is, and then possibly, as you say, go with Javi, and do their thing, and pretty much, have you said it? Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
You know what? I never thought about it that exact way. I thought, I'm still thinking that if I think, but it kind of put a bed my thought. I thought Ivy was going to turn on the boys and go with in this year, but it kind of not because Jinder Mahal is there, and she kind of mend fences. So I can see where she's like, "You guys needed help. I went to get Roderick," type of deal. Instead of her, I had enough of you guys not listening to me and being totally buttheads, and so yeah, I think that's where I
Yeah.
think that's where they're going.
And also, when they got challenged for against Senga and Veer, Ivy is the one that accepted the challenge, not the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers didn't say, "Yeah, we accept." It was Ivy. Ivy is the one that said we accept. So
Right, right. Yeah, you hit it right on there. And of course, now that sets up for next week. But again, I'm still fuzzy. Is it a 6-man or 6-on-2? I mean, handicap 3-on-2. What's the deal there? Are they going to get another person? So it all sets up for must see, must watch. What's next for Diamond Mine? If is there returning a Roderick Strong or maybe a new member? We shall see there. We'll definitely see what's going on. Then we'll go on to another ladies match. We saw the backstage promo first. Let's go with the backstage promo where they were going to interview Cora Jade and they stopped Mackenzie. There's an altercation, something happening in the parking lot. We see Nikita Lyons holding her knee, looked like she got run over or hit. I thought it was that guy in a white minivan that couldn't park, and almost took everyone out in the toilet out earlier in NXT. But let me let me ask you this: Who do you think happened? What happened? And who do you think attacked Nikita Lyons?
whoever is NXT Anonymous. I don't think it's Zoe. I think that Zoe thing is done and over with. I think it's whoever is NXT Anonymous.
Okay. Huh. Never thought about that one there. Okay. I'm thinking. I thought it was Zoe Stark, but you know what I said? It's got to be somebody that we don't know. And I know I know I heard another podcast saying, "Oh, it was a Mercedes." I'm like,
Oh my
stop
god.
it, stop it. It was stop it.
They probably say the Mercedes as the car.
Right, but they said they could. Yeah, they said they could tease it
What is
like
this?
oh god, they said they could tease it like it's a Mercedes.
Oh, White Rabbit says in the chat, yes, absolutely. The Fiend shows up great, but it's not as Bray Wyatt, but as Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy is Vince. Okay.
Yes, it might be. You might be right. You might be
It
right.
could be. You never know.
It might be right. I believe that's what something. That's why I hope you come. I hope you come this Saturday to watch along with us. Well, right, Rabbit. We want like to see you to join us on the watch along, and we'll definitely would love to acknowledge you're saying it now here, and I know that you said it now, and I know I saw it. So if you're there, come watch along with us when it happens. We're gonna pop and we're gonna give you the proper credit on that because you're making a prediction here that I think, sir, has legs. I think you might be right. There might be some truth to what you're saying there, sir. So thank you for that comment there. We appreciate it. So we're thinking that this is someone that is not Zoe Starks. Okay, so
No,
we
I
shall
don't
see.
think this is Zoe Starks. I think that Zoe Starks thing ended because we really didn't see them as much in the Battle Royal fight. I mean, we saw them in the beginning, but then they died off. They didn't really fight as much in the Battle Royal as, rivals do. So I think that whole thing with Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons is finished. I could be wrong. They could continue with this the storyline with Nikita and Zoe once being tag teams, almost winning that tag team titles. They pretty much won it, but then it was called off. But I think this might be an NXT Anonymous. I really do think. So yeah.
Let me ask you this as I just fixing something on my computer here. Now, let me ask you this. Could there be a match between these two ladies with a stipulation? Like maybe, because believe it or not, I think Zoe Stark is ready for main roster. I know we always keep saying that this lady's ready. This lady's ready. Um, this lady's ready. And could she be? I think she really is. We saw her work out and teamed up work out Charlotte in the Performance Center, and help her along. And maybe Charlotte, you know what, this telling them up in the main roster, so and so are kind of ready. I worked with them. She's safe in the ring, except YZ. You need more heels and except XYZ. What's your thoughts on that?
It could be. You never know. I know. I really want Zoe Stark to be going to main roster. She went on. She was on main event, and that match was pretty cool. It was pretty good. But I would have liked to see her on the main roster, and as White Rabbit says, is Blader Davenport and Saraya released from the WWE or what? No, their visa issues. I don't think they're returning to the main NXT. I think they're going to show up NXT Europe.
Right. Season that they're both having visa issues. Although Mika Saramata has just about a week ago showed up in London. She's getting ready. Remember, I think it's March. NXT Europe is going to launch for the WWE brand. So
Yes.
that's going to get ready soon. So Mika's already Miko is already in London getting herself ready, her visas and her paperwork and all that. So when that gets ready, that's ready to hit the ground. I believe she's going to be the first inaugural champion, in my opinion, because she was the last NXT UK champ. I digress from that there. So we're back here, back again. We were just talking about some other vignettes here. Let's talk one more before we get into the next match. Was with the Don. From one Don to another, Don, Mr. Tony D'Angelo, sitting down in a restaurant. I want to know where the hell that restaurant is, because there is no good Italian restaurants in Orlando, Florida.
It's probably not even in Florida.
So please, Paisan, from one down to another, let me know. I gotta go eat some calamari, But he sits down with Sax, who is now the boss of the underworld. They got some perks. They get free meal. Talking about things are going good. Now let me ask you, they need soldiers. They need more men. They're only them two.
Oh
They're
yeah.
both bosses. Who's gonna be the workers?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I don't know. This might be crazy to say this, but Dijak. What about Dijak? He kind of has that kind of look to him. Maybe Dijak.
Yeah, he wants justice. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to the match here. We finally get Elektra Lopez, La Madrina, taking on Wendy Choo. Now, a match here where, not for nothing, since returning back from her not call up with Legado Fantasma, Alexa Lopez has looked like a badass on this run. I am really enjoying Elektra Lopez's run here, return, because she's picking up some current wins and she's using the brass knuckles, whatever. She's doing whatever it feels to do it, but I really am enjoying what she's doing. She's growing a staple of lady wrestlers. You see her give a pep talk, and she's trying to take Valentina under her wing. She had Valentina at ringside to show her how it's done. Of course, Wendy Choo, a crowd favorite, one of my favorites there. And Wendy Choo does not get the victory. She gets hit with the brass knuckles. And of course, La Madrina, K. Elektra Lopez, gets the victory. Comes out on top and shows that this is how you do it to Valentina. Now, your thoughts here what's your thoughts first with Elektra Lopez return?
I mean, I really haven't watched much of her when she was with Legado del Fantasma, but from the looks of it, many weeks has she's been on the TV since she's come back since I returned. I kind of like her. She's it's going well with her, and I like that she's starting to kind of put people under her wing and create like a faction, like a women's faction. I kind of like it. I like what she's going with this. The cheating thing. I don't know how I feel about the cheating. I don't like cheating. I don't like people cheating in matches. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing.
That's a classic heel. I think Valentina turns. I think Valentina is going to turn. Is going to join Elektra Lopez here. I think that's going to eventually happen down the road. It's a long-term booking, a long-term storyline. It's a storyline that I kind of like it. I think she's, it's like the opposite of Drew Lack and Hank Walker. You can see that coming to a conclusion, how that's going to end. You can see how this is going to end up, vice versa. Their storylines. For my personal opinion, Wendy Choo. What's up for her? Her gimmick, she's really good. The sleeping time gimmick. I know she made a couple appearances on a main event. Did some good matches with Dana Brooks. There's a room for that Wendy Choo sleepy time gimmick on the main roster, believe it or not. I know it's like, oh, that looks corny. I don't believe so. Remember WWE also caters to a lot of young children and a lot of young ladies, young children, young little girls. You know how much money they could sell with the pillows, selling those damn pillows and sleeping time stuff. They could turn that into a profit. And of course, wrestlers make their money on merchandise. Wendy Choo goes to that main roster with that sleepy time gimmick, and I believe she could get it over. and I think that's where she needs to go. I would like to see her at the Royal Rumble, make an appearance there, and now starts working a program.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like Wendy, the way Wendy is heading right now, I could see them selling like cups. You know, like they have like the cups and it says Wendy Choo on it, or like the sleepy time,
Yes.
the pillow, or probably possibly pajamas. Put them in Walmart. Put them on the shop. Kind of have like that kind of like onesie that she has on. I would like to see that, and if she fits on the main roster, I like she kind of does. I've seen a couple matches. I've only seen one match. I've stopped watching main event a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with my Hulu. It's not really like showing up new episodes, but the last time I saw was her versus Tamina. It was pretty funny. I liked it. I enjoyed it. She had a wonderful match, and yeah, I think she could make it on the main roster. Not now, but I see kind of in the future where she does make it to the main roster.
No, I think the time is now. I think she can. There's not enough time for her. It runs course in NXT. Personally, I'm gonna give you. Let me address here with Stevie Turner's heading to NXT. Remember, not all it's the government. It's on the hands of the United Kingdom and United States agreement with the visas, with the work visas. Wyatt Rabbit, you've seen the Gallus boys. You only got two out of the three. You got one of the Coffee, Mark Coffee. Joe Coffee is not here. He's not able to get his visa straightened out. So it works for some wrestlers. Some, you say, why come it works for some and one doesn't for the other? That has to be. You have to ask the British government and the United States government on why those visas on certain wrestlers are not working or able to come in to wrestle. But Joe Coffey is not here. Gallus is Prideful 3. You would love to have that. And also Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier is in a relationship with Thea Hail, and he hasn't been seen because he's back home. He's able to try to get his work visa. He's trying to become an American citizen and stay in his country because he's a protege of Seth Rollins, and he's right now who was on a trajectory of phenomenal matches against Axiom, and he was getting over in the NXT universe. Not seeing him for a while hurt him, but that's all visa issues. The same thing with Dragunov. Dragunov was phenomenal. Dragunov was just awesome. He's not really injured. They play the injury angle due to the fact that he had visa issues. They're not going to say, well, we gotta go back to visa issues. They don't say that, although they just totally disappeared and kept Blair Davenport completely quiet. Blair Davenport, I was impressed with her triple threat match there. I wanted to see her more. I wanted to see her one-on-one because I thought she, at first she was a little clunky, but then after I saw a total of 3 matches, 2 out of 3 were very impressive. The first one I'm going to say was nerves being in the United States, but she was impressive. And yeah, they're definitely would like to see Blair Davenport back in NXT personally because I think she's got a Nick factor personally. You saw Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn didn't come in September when they were closing or they were doing Worlds Collide for NXT due to the fact of the visa. It's all about it's different. Different people. It's like visas are lotteries. Different lotteries are permission to go to different countries. Sometimes you could expedite it depending who you know and so forth. So it is what it is. It's like, it's like a lot. When is your number when you go to the DMV? You're there for a license plate, but you got to wait for the other person who's going to take who's getting a non-driving ID. You just got to wait. That's how that is when it comes to that. So
Yeah,
I
definitely
definitely
don't have much. I've only saw one match of Blair Davenport, that triple threat. So that's. I really don't have much to say about her. I really don't watch NXT UK, and but I'm gonna watch definitely NXT Europe.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, we lost a lot of good matches due to the fact that WWE and Peacock didn't really get that push for them because they had Walter was the longest reigning champion there. Yeah, I think his reign was longer than Roman Reigns is currently right now.
Yeah, I think
When
Roman Reigns is gonna pass it though.
and that's the problem. I wish WWE would have gave us that because now we're starting to see those wrestlers come to NXT, not just NXT, but to the main roster. I feel like an idiot. Where's been the last few years of Imperium? I missed out on watching Imperium grow, and I really love them now.
Oh
I
yeah.
love Imperium. That's my favorite group. And I'm like, damn, I wish I would have seen. And thank God for YouTube, the network. I seen these matches, and I appreciate what Walter's done from the weight loss that man did to what he looks now, and also Giovanni Da Vinci, Fabian Eitner, and Kaiser. My goodness, and there was another fourth member. He fell off. He got some injuries and so forth, but they were phenomenal. Imperium was phenomenal. That takeover between them and Elite was phenomenal. And of course, Alien Dragunov, another one. I think Wyatt, once his visa, Dragunov is going to end up going to the main roster, and I believe I'm just making it as a prediction. Take it as a grain of salt, but I think he's going to be the fourth member of Imperium. It's just me. He's the fourth member of Imperium when he goes. I don't think he's not gonna fart around in NXT no more. That guy is too much of a talent to be farting around in NXT personally. That's just my opinion. Get him. Make gold. You got gold there for them. You got gold when it comes to Dragunov. So let's go back here to we almost wrapping up here with the NXT review, but we like to talk about all different things too. When it comes to wrestling, we're just fans. We love it. We have Grayson Waller, of course, come out addressing what happened with Braun. He says, "Listen, I don't got a plate underneath here. Just come out. I punked you, called him the dog word." Um, of course, everybody and the mother was trying to restrain the heavyweight champion, although Braun. I like the fact Waller comes up with the fake title. I think that's the closest he'll ever get to a NXT World Champion, in the next few months. But he comes out. He has a fake title on him. He went to the WWE shop, got his own, and Braun comes out and woof. Ooh ha ha! A brawl out, braille. What did you? Well, how did that look from your corner? I was right in front.
Oh no, you were right in front, and I'm kind of jealous of you. But I kind of saw the ending of it. I mean, they were just like fighting on the opposite side of the ring where I was, and I was like, I can't really see, but I kind of see them fighting a little bit. But man, that brawl, it just that felt nice. I liked it, and the ending of that brawl where Bron Breakker goes in for the spear on Grayson, and Grayson moves out the way. He's a little smarter than Braun thinks he is. He moves out the way, and he goes right through that barricade. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that here in NXT. Someone go through the barricade like that. Oof! Oh my God, this feud has been phenomenal from the start. I like what Grayson's doing with his heel gimmick. I like it. It's working. And I like where Bron Breakker is kind of the underdog here. I mean, in my perspective, he's kind of the underdog here because a lot of people are saying Grayson Waller is going to take that title, and I'm one of them. I want to see Grayson Waller with the NXT Championship come out of Vengeance Day being victorious. I would like to see that happen. I'm a huge Grayson Waller fan. I know some people in NXT are, and a lot of people aren't. But I think this feud, it might lead up to even Stand and Deliver. I don't think Vengeance Day will be the end of Grayson Waller and Bron Breakker. I think we get a third competitor, Carmelo Hayes or Apollo Crews, someone from that match at Stand and Deliver. I mean, Vengeance Day comes out victorious and jumps in that feud too. I think that's what's going to happen at Stand and Deliver.
All right. I saw that match there, and I do agree with you. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory with those promos. Even if you throw Grayson Waller in a Miz, that he says, I'm not no fake Miz," and you could kind of turn Miz a little face, kind of, or you could keep them both at it, back and forth. But of course, Theory's a little schmuck, just like Grayson Waller, and that's gold. That's championship. That's gold material there. That's Raw. That's Monday Night Raw material. I won't want to see a Grayson Waller in SmackDown because I believe that's like a different audience from Raw. Raw Monday night, you could put him at the 10 o'clock hour for Miz TV, or even Grayson Waller just interrupts, and that's must watch TV, especially if they say that they're having a hard time with that third hour to keep retraining. Are you telling me a Grayson Waller is going to confront a Miz or Theory on a microphone or whatever, or have all three in a Miz TV? That is gold in the future. That will work phenomenal. Now let me go with this here. We've seen already Grayson Waller with the metal plate, right? that Bron Breakker speared his head in, and he did the old Goldberg Bret Hitman Hart thing. We saw yesterday Bron Breakker go through the barricade to try to spear him. You saw also before that we saw the rival video where Grayson Waller punked out Bron Breakker with the bottle of water, and Bron Breakker knocked him on his rear end and all that. This is what Bron Breakker needed: a villain to make his title run feel special. It didn't feel special with Joe Gacy because it was kind of he kidnapped his dad. Oh, I'm gonna make you lose your temper. I don't know. I don't know, Ken. No, that kind, Joe Gacy. He was that kind of. Me personally, I don't think Grayson Waller is gonna win the world title because he's gotten too much over. You gotta have the baby face, and the baby face then he's gonna be that's like a squash, and I don't think WWE wants to squash a Bron Breakker. Yes, do we really want? Is it time for Bron Breakker to have a new is it time for NXT to have a new world champion? I believe it does, and I love Bron Breakker. I mean, his cheering section. I mean, his only cheering section really in the NXT. Me and my wife and a few others, but I love Bron Breakker. I think he's a star. I know people says he's boring. Bron Breakker sucks. Whatever. The chants are not going. And he's too vanilla. Yes, he needs promo work. Absolutely, he does. He's only 24, 25 years old. I know, and he's young. He just came out. He just finished playing division football. He's now in the end. He's a performer, wrestler that's seen by millions of people, or whatever, under a million, whatever you want to say the numbers. That watches him night and week after week. My point is, Grayson Waller's 32 years old to a 22, 24, whatever, 24, 25-year-old kid. And I know he's a little nervous and his promos might not be 100%. He'll get there. I don't think Waller wins this title. I don't see it in the world because he's being punked too much. Unless if on Tuesday LeBron totally comes up on top, like totally destroys the crap out of Waller, like then he's not gonna win. But other than that, if they just sort of back and forth, or then I don't see Waller winning it. I'm sorry. I think he's gonna go the bigger money matchup and enough. And again, no disrespect, I would love to see the triple threat like you said, Jay. But it's time for Melo to have a one-on-one match when he's gonna win a title. And enough of the third person or the third wheel interfering on a way where he's not gonna win the title. I want to see a one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes and whoever's the world champion, because I want to see a definitive winner. I don't need a third person to protect if Melo is not gonna win, to take the fall, and then Melo comes up short without getting a title. I think it's Melo's time to win that title in Los Angeles. In if he's not going to make the main roster, which I don't think he will. I think he wants to go up with Trick Williams. You have that in SummerSlam. You have that gold there with Trick and Melo. That's your new Diesel and Shawn Michaels, in my opinion. I've been saying that for a long time now, and and Waller's phenomenal. Waller could go to the main roster tomorrow. He could even rekindle that feud with AJ Styles when he returns. There's so many things for Waller. Remember, Waller's 32, 33 years old. And Bron is so young, and I don't think Waller needs to. It'd be nice to have a heel champion in NXT for a while, because and especially in the males, we really haven't had one. Ciampa wasn't really was a tweener, and so forth. But I think I'm sticking, and I know we're gonna do our predictions for Vengeance, but I'm going a week early. I still don't. I gotta see Tuesday, but I'm still having a feeling Bron comes back champion.
Yeah, it could go either way. We could anything could happen in WWE. Because we've seen it before. We all think one thing's gonna happen, and then another thing happens. You never know. Anything is possible. So yeah, next Tuesday we'll just see what happens. But yeah, my prediction. I want Grayson to win, but I also can see a Bron Breakker winning. That would be cool. That would be awesome to see. And then him versus Carmelo Hayes 1-on-1 at Stand and Deliver in Los Angeles. So yeah, you never know. Things always happen.
And of course, White Rabbit says Melo and Seth is a dream match. I thought that was gonna happen this SummerSlam. Remember Matt Riddle got suspended. We didn't know what was the reason. Now we do know what it was. Wellness policy, but at that time there wasn't going to be anyone there. We thought Seth Rollins was going to have a match with someone, and I was waiting for, and I was doing a watch along, and I was like, you know what? I won't be surprised. I was actually saying it's gonna be Mello. It's gonna be Mello, and I said I'm gonna mark out. I was saying in the watch along. If I said I'm the greatest, I'm gonna mark out here on this camera on this. You're gonna see me act like a fool. I'll probably go viral how goofy I'm gonna be or how mark I am, and no, it didn't happen. So I thought it was gonna be Mello in SummerSlam personally because that's the match everybody wants to see. Seth freaking Rollins, Carmelo Hayes. We had a little bit of Ricochet match with Carmelo Hayes at Worlds Collide was top notch or 5-star where we didn't hear any peep from David Meltzer and those idiots, those marks. They didn't even look at that match, but it is what it is. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. It ain't brown, it ain't right. So whatever. Yeah, I said it. So we'll move on here. We'll move on to the next here. We'll get a tag team title match here. Whoa, we still got a lot of coverage. Another women's match. The women's tag team. We haven't seen the tag team champions in the world. Jacy and Katana taking Alba Fyre. And Alba Fyre says she'll do it on her own. Wanted to beat Thanos there. But before the match, right as match starts, we get Sol Ruca comes out. So Sol Ruca is one of the hottest acts here in NXT. Female up and rising star with that Soul Snatcher finisher. What was your thoughts when you saw Sol Ruca?
I don't get me wrong. Sol Ruca is an amazing, talented woman. She can do it in the ring, but Alba Fyre and Sol Ruca is not really a team I really want to see. When she came out, I thought it was going to be Isla Dawn. I thought Isla Dawn was going to come out and it was going to switch the whole situation. They were going to win the tag team titles, and they were going to go on to Vengeance to face Kiana and Fallon. I thought that was going to happen. But then Sol Ruca came out, and I kind of was like, I really don't want to see this, but I'll watch it, I guess. Yes, Sol is very talented. She's the Soul Snatcher. Ooh, wonderful. I love to see it every week that she does it. But when it comes to Alba Fyre and Sol Ruca, it makes me seem like, oh yeah, Kayden and Katana are going to retain. It is what it is. When she came out, yep.
For not coming on for too much, Kayden and Katana look phenomenal. They had a really nice day. They're the natural tag team in the women's division. You know, they got the it factor. Both ladies, they're the NXT party crowd. They got it. They got it all. They got, but to see them come out victorious, of course, Alba Fyre gets a little annoyed. I thought she was going to beat the crap out of Sol Ruca for taking the pin. And, of course, they pin Sol Ruca. You protect Alba Fyre. But after the match, it got kind of clunky because I thought we finished that feud. But, no, there's still more Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre. I thought Alba Fyre, that was going to be her tag team partner. Believe it or not, I said, you know what, it's going to be Isla Dawn. And, okay, that's going to be cool. Fire and Mystic Fire. Okay, I can see where that could go. That makes it nice. But or the Fallen Angels. That's a good name. Yeah. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel. Yeah. Never mind. But that would have been a nice one for Fire. I don't know, Fire Witch or whatever they want to call themselves there. Down the road, but I don't know. We'll shall see there. I kind of. I kind of feel Kayden Katana's days as champions are being numbered, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Vengeance Day is the last for them. Don't get me wrong. I like them. They're a wonderful tag team, but it's the same thing over and over again, and it's kind of getting stale for me a little bit. I get it with the ooh like we chant all the time. I chant it because it's something to chant. I like chanting something. But it's just, I don't know. It's getting stale for me. But at that finish, when Isla Dawn came out laughing, she does it every time. It's kind of getting a little creepy for me. I'm like, when they did that laugh in the arena, I was like, what the heck is that? But I see this happening. Did you see Isla Dawn didn't attack? Alba Fyre didn't attack Isla Dawn.
No,
she didn't attack her.
Anything. Nothing.
She just walked away. I think this feud it's over with. I think they're going to go a different route, but we'll just wait. I don't think they're going to go at it again. I don't think there's going to be another match.
Also, another wrestler ready to. She's also another one that train with Charlotte Flair in the Performance Center. Could it be a call up? I know they're really high on Alba Fyre, Kaylee Ray in the WWE main roster. They really like her a lot. She could be one that if this Isla Dawn, and Isla Dawn was supposed to come up be part of the White Six, I was told. But we shall see. We don't know, because there is there's a plethora of women wrestler. There's more ready to pop, ready to take that next step. Um, it's time to start getting these ladies to like a Hartwell, Choo, Fire, Alba Fyre, and even Isla Dawn. She's not a bad wrestler. She's a good wrestler. I really am impressed with her, the way she wrestles. She kind of, she got the mannerism or the look like a Mickey James with Isla Dawn there. That's an interesting there for her to see. Isla Dawn versus Evil Alexa Blitz. That'd be phenomenal. Brace Sister Abigail would be phenomenal too. She comes up as Sister Abigail. That'd be freaking crazy. We shall see. There's so many bookings we could have so many long term or fantasy booking when it comes to those characters, where when they go up to the main roster, what they could do. And of course, everybody, I would like to see a match between the Dakota Kai Io Sky versus Kayden and Katana. Yeah, that's a good match too, right there. Because you have Io Sky going on with doing the different aerial moves against Katana, who's just 90 pounds of fury going, and you got Dakota Kai and Kayden. That's a freaking phenomenal match. That'll be a good match. That'll be a good match. With once the ladies drop the titles, to have it on a premium live event when the main talent wrestlers come for just to spice up a premium live event, especially if they're going to go on the road, take it outside of Florida, out of the Performance Center. That'll be a attraction match that I think people will like to go see. That's a good one there, White Rabbit. That's a really good fantasy booking there with that. I like that one too. So we finally get to the main part here. We have a summit, which I was like, okay, a summit to close out again. But before that, all night we had some different promos, cuts by Toxic Attraction, Gigi. Not so nice with Jacy and Jacy back and forth. They were throwing shade all night in different promos. The little bit of a dissension there between the ladies, not getting along. Could we have seen the end of Toxic Tuesdays? It was actually a Toxic Tuesday, all right, with a lot of words back and forth.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts before we even get to the sit down? I'm like, ooh, these ladies are really gonna split.
They did it on Twitter as well. If you paid attention to JC and Gigi's Twitter, they were throwing shade, not like towards each other, like, oh, I'm gonna like tweet at JC or at Gigi. They were just throwing shade on Twitter, pretty much indicating to Gigi, JC, or even to Roxy. It was just I thought it was the end. I really thought that night it would have been over. So yeah.
Yeah, we get the sit down, and of course we get Booker T narrating there, and of course the two ladies on each corner. Now they look like ready to go at it, like two cats ready to pounce on each other. And then of course the champion comes out. Roxanne Perez sits in the middle for the summit, and you see Booker T. All we needed was some popcorn with Roxy, and they just sat back and enjoyed these two ladies just ripping each other. We find out that Jacy likes to throw up before the match, and Gigi's not a good wrestler. That Jacy's the one that carried her, and which we already kind of had an idea, but back and forth there, and to the point where both ladies were gonna go at it face to face, and you see Roxy dust the heel just laughing, and they both turn. I loved it. That was just classic storyline. They swerved everyone. They were just joking. They had us all on the rules with the social media, the back and forth bickering. Because when I saw that, I was like, damn, these ladies are really going to go at it. And this is a way to bring Mandy to calm things down and reunite them and kumbaya moment. But no, they kumbaya it, and they took Roxanne and threw her to the table. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I did as well. And I was sitting there and I saw Gigi smile and I was like, oh, there it is. We knew something was up. And then they just turned to Roxy, grabbed her, hit her on the table, and then dropped her to the table. And it was just like, wow. They really just fooled us all. Everybody. Not just us at the Performance Center. People all over social media, all the people at home, everybody watching NXT got swerved. Not a single person thought they're just going to make up and they're gonna beat Roxy at Vengeance Day, and they're gonna become the women's champions. They just swerved everything, and they are back together. Toxic Tuesday is not splitting up. Toxic Attraction is not splitting up. They're staying together as we think they are. Things can all change at Vengeance Day. We've seen it before. We've seen those kind of things happen before. They're trying to biffer who gets the pin here, and they end up turning on each other. That could happen at Vengeance Day. We'll find out a week from Saturday on Peacock. We'll wait. We'll just wait.
Yeah, we still got the go home show to do next Tuesday. We'll be there live in person. And of course, let me give you a couple of promos that I didn't want to leave out. Was Gallus Boys promising to take over the NXT Tag Title division like they did in UK. That was a promo. It was hard to hear with the noise and the background, with the crowd going nuts. You couldn't hear it. And of course, we also saw before we talked about Nikita Lyons getting injured in the parking lot. Cora Jade is going to try to take down Laura Falcari next week. And also we had Wes Lee and Dijak meeting in the dark room, where both were with the North American title, refused to face each other. Faces his lightest challenge there. So to see Dijak and Wes Lee in the dark room there, I thought they were going to watch a X-rated video or something, because it looked kind of creepy.
Then we're gonna watch like Saw movie.
But
But we also kind of forgot none of this was on TV. We kind of got Tyler Bate come out and pretty much say thank you for welcoming me back. I thought you all forgot about me, and it kind of led to you thinking that he's gonna go after the North American Championship, which I would love to see Tyler Bate hold that championship in his hand, because it would look phenomenal. We also kind of saw Montana. I was like, that was Twitter time kind of for me.
Bronson Montana, he cut a promo. He wants an opportunity. He wants to get going, and then as soon as he wants to get a chance to wrestle, in the big leagues and make a name, an imprint on himself. And as soon as he was done with the promo, I said, "Damn!" So little Ron Simmons look alike. So everybody got a pop out of that one.
I was just on Twitter. I was like, I heard his entrance music and I saw his name. I was like, oh,
He's
Twitter
good.
time.
He's good. He said that here's the problem. When we know they're level up guys and they're learning, they're growing, it's gonna take them something. It's gonna take a move like a Soul Snatcher from like a Sol Ruka to get on it. Because Sol Ruka was in that same thing, like and then when she did that, she broke out that move. She's the must watch wrestler now. The same thing with Quincy Elliott, when he was like, look at this big doofus, this big guy looking like Viscera, and then he just won the crowd over with whatever mannerisms, or he got the right heat. And now, he was one of the most hottest acts that everybody was chanting before the event start. We want Quincy. So it's up to Bryson Montana to separate himself to where the crowd wants to hear or see a Bryson Montana. They want to so it's up to him now. He already made the verbal acknowledgement that he wants more time. Now go, what do you have? What are you going to do that's going to want us to want to see you more? So it's up to Bryson Montana, the performer, in my opinion. That's what happened with us. Look at those case and examples. Nikita Lyons, when she came out, with her yelling and that finisher when she does that split on her opponents, people want to see more of that.
Oh yeah,
more of that. And I think, and for a wrestler that's going to debut on Level Up this Friday, and a female wrestler, she left an impression for a lot of males. If you're, and if you want to see her more, she's gonna not do the same thing she did there, but she's gonna leave an impression where people are gonna want to see more of this wrestler making her debut. I don't want to do any spoilers, but you must watch Level Up because it's a good spoiler. It's a good one. Just put it this way, it's a good one. You must watch Level Up. It's going to be a pretty good. It's a pretty good 3 matches there. A good hour of really good wrestling with the up and coming wrestlers of NXT, the next generation, or you could say ready to hit your TVs coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to bring out any spoilers, but Level Up was excellent. I liked it. And yeah, the person that made that debut, when I heard about it earlier this morning on Instagram, sorry. She kind of announced it on Instagram that she was making her debut tonight, aka Level Up on Friday. And I was excited for her. I was waiting. I was just sitting there and I was like, come on. Let's see what you got. I want to see what she has, and she brought it. It was I was impressed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw her first match. It wasn't a singles. Her first match, period, in Orlando, um, 3 months ago. I believe it was in November. In November, so I was there. So I've been following her career before wrestling. Of course, we all know that we have a program dedicated to the sport that she was in, and we covered her. We know her career. Right? We're familiar with her career. And now seeing her translating to the world wrestling entertainment in the world of wrestling, it's a pleasure. It's good to see that transition, and her mannerisms and her in-ring ability, personally, and her look. She's got the it factor. She's gonna be an impact in wrestling. No pun intended, but she's gonna be an important one coming forward who's gonna grow. And one thing, without any spoilers, because I really would love to talk about it, but I don't want to give any spoilers. I want people to watch it. I was surprised a lot of the wrestling moves they allow her to do or attempt. I was like, whoa, you got some of these kids, some of them that don't even do something basic, and she was doing some certain moves there that I was like, whoa. I was impressed. I was impressed on that. I am impressed on the heel. I believe she's going to be a heel. Her mannerisms of the heel and everything there. She's got, for her first debut match. She had that down pat. She looked like a veteran. She looked like she came from another wrestling company, and she never wrestled in the Indies, folks. So when you see that person in that match, what I'm talking about, never wrestled in the Indies, and this is her first rodeo, and look at all her mannerisms, the way she conducts herself. She's a star. Not because I'm being biased about it, is because it check the boxes. Make your own box of what you're looking for in a wrestler, and see if she checks it. Personally, she did.
Yes, and there's another debut that happens also on Level Up, part of the male side, and that kind of was it was when he was like there, I was like, is that Seth Rollins? I thought that was Seth Rollins
I
for a
also saw
second.
his first match too. That same night that they debuted together. Also, he had a nice, interesting program as well. This guy that came up, the level up match was okay.
Hmm.
His match in the Orlando first ever was better, but could be to nerves. Or it could be the opponent, because he didn't wrestle this opponent. He wrestled a different opponent who was much more veteran, seasoned veteran wrestler, or more of a wrestler who's been more in ring time than the one he currently wrestled on Leveled Up. So it could be that too. It could be the chemistry also with it. But it wasn't a bad match, but it could have been better. But of course, debut match. All right. So with that said, here we know the Royal Rumble is coming up. We might or might not do a some Summer SmackDown watch along. We're in the works. We're checking out our work schedule, our schedules, with other programs on the network as well. We have the capability of or even doing a SmackDown review. We are going to do the Royal Rumble watch along. We invite you to definitely watch along with us, please. We would love to. We would love to, like, Wyatt Rabbit with the questions and your comments. We read every comment. We're not one of those that, oh, we don't get a super chat, we're not going to read that, we're going to ignore it. That there's wrestling channels, wrestling shows like that. They won't read kapoots if it's not a wrestling. If, oh, you'll be fourth man on the show. Yeah, at 20 bucks. But no, we appreciate the super chats, of course. We never say no to money, but you are part of the program. We are an audience participation program that we love to hear from you guys to participate with us. So yeah, definitely would love to hear the questions, and we'll answer it as best as we can. And we just passionate wrestling fans. So Royal Rumble comes up. Let's go with a little spoiler, just in case we don't get to SmackDown. Remember, this is subject to change. Royal Rumble. Let's first start with the dark match, the pitch black, Mountain Dew pitch black dark match between LA Knight, yeah, and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, this match I am most looking forward to. Besides the men's Royal Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble, I'm more like on the side of I want Bray Wyatt to win. I also want LA Knight to win. It's just in between. But I think since a lot of people are saying that there's going to be neon elements to this match, I'm kind of leading towards this is kind of going to be like a kind of like Bray Wyatt comes out as a fiend. You know what I'm saying? How the Fiend had that red,
Yes.
red matches. I think this is all gonna be purple. I think the ring is all gonna be colored purple. Around the ring is all gonna be kind of colored purple as well, and then the rest of the arena is all gonna be black. And we're pretty much gonna have that kind of thing how he does his promos in the ring. But I think Bray Wyatt comes out top of here. I see maybe an Uncle Howdy come out, kind of, kind of distracts LA Knight or distracts Bray Wyatt. It could go either way here. But my prediction right now is Bray Wyatt to win.
Okay. I'm going to the opposite direction. The reason why is, and it just brings me back to, of course, watching so much wrestling for so, and I hate to say that because it's like, oh, you're always saying that you've been watching it since WrestleMania 1, blah, blah. But this reminds me of remember, we all saw that finale we saw on Monday Night Raw, Undertaker whisper in the ears of Bray Wyatt. And well, who knows what the hell he said in there, but whatever the case, he might have said, I farted and I smell it. Who knows? And so my point is, Undertaker had a lot of nostalgic matches. I remember when he fought Yokozuna and so forth, and when he lost, and he Undertaker lost and still got over it. I remember the time he lost, and he just, his casket just lightning, and he disappeared, and is he dead or he's not dead, and so forth. And he came back and resurfaced, and he got over again. My point is, I think LA Knight comes out victorious due to some elements of circumstances. I think Bray is going to come out as Bray Wyatt. I think we're going to get someone dressed as the Fiend. We're going to get so much different confusion. How Uncle Howdy hitting, probably, again, interfering where he hits Bray Wyatt, causing him the match to lose. Like he has a torment or another character, Funhouse, something that was like, it's going to be a wow factor, something supernatural, the way they did in the Rumble many years ago with the Undertaker. It's an Undertaker type of program. It's not recycled because it's going to be whole different characters or different format, but it's kind of the same concept. I believe that's what's going to happen here. I think LA Knight wins this match, and the same thing is going to happen with Alexa Bliss. I think Bianca Belair wins, but it's going to be the most chaotic, interfering, crazy stuff. We might get Isla Dawn dressed up as Abby Witch. You never, or someone else that we don't think of that's not on the roster right now from the Indies, and I'm saying it's not going to be Chelsea Green, but it could be someone different. Doing something that we're like, oh snap. Killer Frost is out there as a free agent. There's a lot of different things out there, guys. So I think both Wyatt and Bliss loses because of those factors.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And let's go with the women's. But now, one thing about I hate to say who's going to win the women's Royal Rumble because we do not know all full 30 participants. There is only 9 scheduled and so many more to be determined. Surprises, possible call-ups. Who might get the call-up? NXT might see who's healthy enough. They might not want to announce it and get egg on their face like the way they did with the women's tournament. For some reason, Nikita couldn't go. Of course, vaccination reasons and all that other garbage, whatever that stuff happened. Not garbage, but, situation that the government did not allow to travel, whatever the case was. When it comes to San Antonio, it's only a couple hour flight away, but who's healthy, physically healthy, who's able, what they have in storyline, who doesn't, what makes sense. So I think that's why they left a lot of women out because they're going to be surprised. It's going to be a surprising filled because the WWE have a lot of ladies, believe it or not, folks, there is, and they're going to have a lot of different newcomers. I think we're definitely going to see the arrival of Chelsea Green, book it. You're probably going to see some more, maybe wrestlers, the famous Michelle McCool again. You're probably going to get wrestlers that we never thought we saw. Again, Killer Frost is out there. Nia Jax, Lana. I won't be surprised if we see Lana. I would be not surprised one bit if Lana returns for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Lana comes back. But I kind of have like a little prediction here. Maybe it could, I want to predict maybe a Rhea Ripley win the Rumble, or Liv Morgan wins the Rumble. It kind of goes either way, but I'm going to stick with Rhea Ripley. I know a lot of people are going to stick with Rhea Ripley, but I think it is her time to win a Rumble again and go on to WrestleMania. She has it right now. She is a lot over. She's doing so good what she's doing with Judgment Day, and I think it's time for her to step up and win the Rumble.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see on that. I'm not. I don't have a favorite to win the Rumble. I was going for Liv Morgan, personally, but I don't know how many. Who else is in there? It could be. I could take the field and say it's not a wrestler that's not currently right now in the WWE, and they're just gonna bring her in as a free agent, and I don't know who's out there. To be honest with you, other than a few, not that much ladies out there, but you never know. They might bring her in, and that's like, oh, wait a minute, what the, Also, they got to build up for Elimination Chamber. We don't know what's going to happen in the Elimination Chamber as well. And also there, so we do not know what's in between there, Jay. So I'm gonna, if I have to pick, I'm gonna say Liv. Or like I could have said the field, but for the men's is another one. It's another one that I think is going to be up in the air.
For me, I'm gonna go with like what everybody else is going with, Cody Rhodes or maybe Seth Rollins, Austin Theory. We can have Gunther win it. It could go anybody who's right now so dominant. But they're building up Cody's return as like if he's gonna win the Rumble. So I'm choosing Cody. I'm gonna stick with my gut and I'm gonna choose Cody.
Okay. That's not a bad choice. I'm gonna be different because everyone's gonna say Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes. I don't know. Again, back to the complainers. Oh, why did they say Cody Rhodes? Why didn't they leave it as a secret? Because that would have been the worst kept secret in all of freaking wrestling. That Cody Rhodes was going to be a surprise at the Rumble when that was going to be. It's like the same year as WrestleMania when after it got leaked. It's going to be Cody Rhodes against Seth Rollins when Rollins didn't have a match. Personally, I think um, I think Cody Rhodes doesn't win it. I think Cody Rhodes, because he's gonna go, wait, I didn't win the Rumble. We're so close, but there's two titles that I could go for. I'm gonna go this route to try to win the chase for Cody Rhodes. The build, I think, is gonna take us all on that American roller coaster, like MJF calls Cody Rhodes. I think they're gonna give us the American roller coaster to WrestleMania. He's gonna ride that roller coaster, and instead of just I won it here and I'm back, and I think they want us to build. I think they want to build it because if he wins it at Royal Rumble, it's like, okay, he's number one contender, and then okay, what's now? We still got a whole elimination chamber and Rose, and I think that's the way they're gonna build it. I think who wins the Rumble is Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn. I think it's pushing and gearing up that it's gonna be a Sami Zayn win, and it's gonna be like, oh damn, and it's not gonna be that he's gonna lay down to the tribal chief. I think he's gonna challenge him. It's like, no, I'm coming for it.
This is something right here. What you just said, Sammy might win. This is what I think is gonna happen. You know, and I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn in this prediction right here. I want Cody Rhodes to win, but right now I'm going to show my theory if Sammy would win the Rumble. The final four people: Solo, Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay. The final four people. What is going to happen? Solo's going to go over the top rope. Jimmy's going to go over the top rope. And it's going to be Jay and Sammy. Roman wants Sammy to go over the top rope. But he's going to throw Jay over the top rope, win the Rumble, and that's when he faces Roman. I think it's going to happen. I think Sammy is going to turn on whoever is the final people. They're going to turn on him. He's going to turn on them, and he's going to throw them out of the Rumble, and boom, he challenges Roman.
Now I know I think that's gonna go there. But let me ask you this: any thought about what just creeped in my mind? Could it be Jey Uso? Remember he had that a little bit of a thing, main event Jey. Could it be Jey actually win the Rumble and challenges his cousin?
It
Instead
could
of
be.
everybody's expecting Dwayne and Joe, and it's really Jay and Joe, in kayfabe, with Roman and Jey Uso, really, instead of Rock and and it'd be interesting.
It will be 100%. It would be interesting, and you never know. Things always anything can happen. It's the Rumble season. It's WrestleMania season. Saturday starts the beginning of WrestleMania season. Anything can happen. We still got the elimination chamber to go through, which I see Adam Pearce forcing Roman Reigns to relinquish the WWE Championship and have it be defended in the elimination chamber. And then whoever wins that will go to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes. A lot of reports are saying it's going to be Cody, Seth, and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I would love to see that happen as well. Drew coming up from being part with the Banger Bros, a part of Brawling Brutes, coming up and going back to that number, kind of going back up to the main championship division.
No, it'd be cool because now they could do the road for WrestleMania. They could have the Banger Bus all over America. All right.
Sorry, you with this bus, man. Get the shirt.
Yeah, I will. All right, so I guess that will wrap up the program tonight. It was a good program. NXT, a little Raw review there, little Raw tease. SmackDown is going to be really good Friday night, so hit that notification. We don't know if we're going to be live and do a watch along or not. We will see. We'll see our work schedules and see where we at. We got new equipment. We want to test out. I know Jay is dying to test his new equipment if it arrives in time, so we'll have that going. So stay tuned with there. So Jay, your final thoughts here. I like NXT again. It was a better show than last Tuesday. Much better. Of course, the women were showcased, so take it, stick it. Nikki, where the sun don't shine, and Brie, and I liked it. Women were showcased, and even in Level Up.
Yeah, definitely. This NXT was definitely better than last week's NXT. Last week's NXT was kind of like a sleeping time. I was kind of like, I really don't want to be here now. But now NXT this week was pretty good. Hopefully next week it's the go home show for Vengeance Day. Next week hopefully is even a better show. And then the Tuesday after Vengeance Day, I hope that's even a better show. But all in all, I can't wait. And we'll see what happens at Vengeance Day and the Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens there as well.
Indeed. So, guys, thank you for joining us from anywhere in all different platforms. If it's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. Follow us there at BX Sports Jedi Network, all the different platforms there on our socials. We are verified in Twitter. We are verified in Instagram. So please, please come and check us out. Leave a 5-star review. Leave us a comment. How can we make the program much more better? If you want to be a panelist, just reach out at me. You find my Linktree information. Email me and we'll get you on. We'll come on and have talk with us wrestling. Wyatt Rabbit, you ever want to have a conversation with us on the air? Come on on, man. We encourage. Again, we are audience participation program, not just on the chat. If you guys have a camera, I'm not shy to be on camera. We'll definitely come on. This is a program from a wrestling fan to the wrestling fans. That's what it is. No one's here trying to be a wrestling insider or we're going to break the first scoop. We're going to say that this guy was the first one gone. No, but if you get a little bit of a nugget that we know, we'll let you know. We'll share the nugget. We'll let you dip your bread in the oil to go could eat. So with that said, I am BX Sports Jedi Kev. Watch us here. We also do MMA coverage on the network: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, of course, wrestling. So we appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching us live or you watch the replay, or if you watch us or you're listening to us on your way to work or working out or just listening us, period, we want to thank you again. We really appreciate every one of you. We appreciate what you can give us. What you cannot get back in return is your time. We know the time that you give us, we value it and we appreciate it, and we want to say thank you. And we always got a slogan. If you ain't down with the Heal the Ring podcast, we got 2 words for you. Just
subscribe.
There you go. So have a good night, guys.
To see me, so shut up.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap,
and
my blood
fastest
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling.
lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fucked up real bad.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less if you like me or not. I'm here for success, and there's no one more successful than Grayson Waller.
Yeah!